Romancing the Dungeon is intended for mature audiences as this show contains adult themes, but not those kind of adult themes, just some sensitive stuff that some audience members may find upsetting. Content warnings for specific episodes can be found in episode descriptions.
Tell me why I'm so alone when I know you're here with me.
You're listening to Romancing the Dungeon, a soft-core D&D podcast about heroes navigating their daily lives while looking for love in a world full of peril, monsters, and heartbreakers. Last time on Romancing the Dungeon.
This is Misty Stepford, your Daleshire Gazette weather reporter, and I'm currently in the humble little village of Warmnook, and as you can hear, it's howling. Locals have reported the brunt of the storm has been caused by some sort of rogue air elementals, which appear to be caught up in a brawl with a very mismatched group of individuals. Did that lady just punch the wind? I can confirm at this time, that listeners don't make unnecessary journeys, don't take risks on treacherous roads, and don't swim in the sea. Wait, hang on a second. That woman's covered in blood. The Bayerganassi, she's being hauled off in chains. There's a mysterious man after riding on horseback, and he's leading them away to his castle/inn/spa. Well, it looks like the weather isn't the only chaotic force shaking things up around these parts. I'm Misty Stepford, and that's your weekly weather roundup.
Are you lonely? Miserable? Or just plain horny? Oh my heavens, can you actually say that word on the radio? Well, you've taken the first step to solving your problems, at least your dating ones. Welcome to Jate. Am I saying that right? Is that how young people say it? Devoted, desired, dreamy, or dirty? Dapper dates for dejected daters? My name is Mrs. Agnes Shufflebottom, but you can call me Auntie Aggie, and I'm a Michigan University Administrator, or MUA for short, appointed to run Miss Greypurse's business affairs while she's... Oh wait, I'm supposed to say something witty or clever here, aren't I? Formicophilia is the sexual interest of small insects or worms crawling over one's body. That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, the survey. Oh yeah, there's a survey. What do you do when no one else is around?
When I'm by myself, I go out because I don't like to be by myself. I am never by myself.
So when I'm alone, I like to do myself. Basically what I'll do is I'll with gelatinous ooze, and then and then up and down and up and down and up and down, and then I have to turn around, and then by that point you're just sweating, you're just absolutely it's pumping out of you, and then I just kind of have to go for a sleep at that point because I'm just exhausted.
Interesting.
I imagine all the people who hurt me in my life, and I think of all the bad things I could do to them in return.
I've actually been learning to play the piano. I'm a little bit tone deaf, so it's not coming easy. So please don't actually... No, delete that. I lift weights.
Count Ivan Svalo has invited you to his castle/inn/spa for some R&R and prison for Hephaesta. You were led up the hill through the woods, and you arrived at the castle. It's very Germanic in its structure, and I was doing my research onto this, and I'm going to get this absolutely wrong, but it would be what's the equivalent of a Lustschloss castle, basically a summer house. but it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Then the doors opened and Morag stepped out. She stands there. You're all most welcome to the Swallow Inn and Spa. Won't you come inside? And she smiles very, very sweetly at the four of you, Groff and his men, and Ivan.
I never thought I'd be in this position. I do an insight check on Morag.
Oh. Roll for insight then, baby.
What do you think this is, D&T?
No one's really sure where to go from here.
I don't know what insight is.
turn around and run back
for it. That's an 18.
That's her.
That's her. That's Morag. And she's super happy, and she's super welcoming to see you.
She doesn't want to murder all of us.
No? What's everybody else doing? While Nate just stares at her.
I am also just staring at her.
Kicking and screaming.
Oh yeah.
Let me go! I didn't kill anybody, but I'm gonna.
Shh. Heffy. That's no way to behave.
Can I bite her? Like, can I get around enough to like?
Give me an unarmed strike with disadvantage.
It's less than a 9 anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, it's less than an 8 anyway.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you literally turn around and like, yeah. And as you do, Groff just kind of puts a hand up and just kind of presses it into your face and like your jaw, and it's just kind of holding you at bay a little bit. I think the adrenaline is really kicking in. She appears to be just going feral now at this point. Is she prone to outbursts? Oh, well, I mean, other than murderous ones, of course.
It's when she stops kicking and screaming that you need to worry.
Oh, she doesn't look the best. And Ivan hops down from his steed. He's quite a pale complexion and just long kind of wavy brown locks of hair tangled that kind of spill out from his cowl. Perhaps you can store her in the wine cellar? It's cold. That's good for a fever.
what the fuck?
Oh, such harsh language from her as well. Yeah, perhaps the wine cellar. Then we won't be able to hear such nasty, nasty words.
I wouldn't leave her around wine.
I might calm her down, though, to be fair.
You know her best.
I do know her best.
What the fuck?
Should we be like decrying this or like protesting? Okay. Is there anyone here to take our bags or like?
Oh,
we've
yes,
been
of
traveling
course.
for a while.
How rude! And Ivan just holds up his hands, and a small little flurry of servants, all wearing like little black suits and white aprons, men and women, just kind of like it's like a little fleet of the house staff just emerge from behind Morag and just wisp in around between the four of you, Groff, his men, and Ivan Swallow, and immediately start grabbing at your bags. It is our spa policy that all weapons be stored here in the vestibule, and Morag just like kind of bows her head, and then she points behind her into like a little entranceway. You may, of course, reclaim them when you are leaving.
I'm sorry, can I just ask, what is she doing here? And I point at Morag.
Oh, my assistant manager. This is Morag. And Morag just waves.
Hi, Morag.
We've met.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kyle, no.
Oh.
We don't.
Hi, Morag.
Yeah.
Have we?
I mean, you don't remember trying to
Murder us?
murder every single one of us, except for this one?
No. Oh,
The Jasmine Gardens?
no, I can't. No, I'm allergic to jasmine.
Your B&B, the Jasmine Gardens.
Oh, wow. Have you been reading my diary? A chance to own my own
You did.
accommodation?
I just look at Nate and Hephaesta and I'm like, what? Like, with a look of like, what the fuck?
Morag is new to our staff, but she came highly recommended, and she has been nothing but wonderful in helping me organize the spa.
Did she hit her head?
And
the Count kind of walks up to her and just kind of holds her head, just kind of turns her head a little bit. I see no obvious signs of a gash or a bump to her noggin.
Okay, and I lean into Ivan and I sort of eye him like the dog in American Tail. Give me old stink eye. Like,
hello.
I'm going to give you my weapons. But if she touches us, that's on you, buddy. And I roll intimidation.
I wonder if they'd kiss.
26.
Whoa, shit.
Oh yeah, that's most good. Yeah. You will get your weapons back. I will see that the Fraulein or the staff take very good care of them. You keep staring at me very intensely. It's quite intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it is. And then I give him a little kiss on the nose.
Oh.
Yes! Yes!
Okay. This must be a custom I'm not used to. And then he just kisses you on your nose.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I undo my belt. And my weapons fall to the floor.
Hi, Althea. Well, you've already been de-weaponed anyway, so Hephaesta.
You guys aren't actually doing that's Morag. Like they've
Hello.
false imprisoned me, and are you really just gonna give them all your stuff?
It's a spa.
I mean, look, to be fair, it doesn't look great for you right now.
I'm looking at her very intently. Did you do it?
No.
Insight check. So I got a 17.
She's not lying. But you saw her come out of the carriage. She was covered in blood, and she's lied about other things, so...
But, I know she's not lying about this, or...
She said it with conviction.
Okay.
But she says lots of things with conviction.
Okay, well, I guess I hand over my rapier and my bows.
Morag takes them from you. Thank you so much. If you'd all like to follow us inside, and Commander Groff just kind of looks at her, and there was mention of detaining the prisoner in a cellar, I believe. It's cold and dark down there, correct? And she's like, well, there's no part of the castle inn/spa that's actually cold, but it's away from the light.
Is it at least dank?
That's a nat 1. It's very dank.
Good.
Roll for dank.
I'm afraid we do actually have a slight dank issue, but we're hoping to have somebody in over the next couple of weeks to take a look at it for us.
Yeah, I suppose if it's dank as well, it's probably also dreary.
It's actually not that dreary. It is, after all, our wine cellar as well, so we have been able to. It doesn't matter. I'll have one of the servants escort you down, and it's actually quite pleasant. Dankness aside.
Are you guys serious right now?
Just go down to the cellar and scope it out. We'll deal with this.
See what you can find.
What? You don't even know what's happening.
Well, neither do you, okay, but I'm at least trying.
I am actually right beside you. I'm very... Scope what out, precisely?
Quick kiss his nose again.
That was Groff. Shit. Groff is just looking at you like, what?
Exactly. Go down and scope the fucking cellar out.
I swear to God, I'm going to get out here and kill all of you.
Spoken like a murderer. And Groff just leads you inside. You're all following in. Ivan is standing at the door with Morag at his side, and they're just smiling at you. And Ivan the entire time is like, Guten Tag. Yeah, will come in. Yeah. Please come in. As you're all being let in, you see that where you were studying a while ago, there are 2 servants that have stayed behind that are now combing the grass and brushing the dirt just to kind of have it looking nice again.
Fuck.
As you step in, there is a pungent aroma of lavender and sandalwood. And there are, inside the vestibule, you do see your weapons are being stored inside cabinets. They're glass, so you can see that they're very empty, other than what they've just put in from you and the soldier. Actually, now they're quite full. Sorry, there's a lot of soldiers, so all their weapons have been stored. Servants are kind of, making sure that they're all name tagged off, so you can see everything is just there. They're locked away, and it's very, very safe and nice. As you move in, there is again, aside from the waft of sandalwood and lavender, there is sort of a warbling of music through the air. It's heavy and sharp at the same time. It's very, very interesting. It's kind of meant to give off that sense of like, this is a spa and a treatment, but it's out of tune. And you're standing in a very, very large hallway. And the floor is hardwood timber. There is a plush red carpet that just extends down in front of you. And you watch as Hephaesta is led past a very tall marble staircase towards a wooden door that opens, and there is a faint draft of dankness as the door opens. Two of Groff's men, Groff and a member of staff leading them, escorts Hephaesta away. The door closes behind you with just kind of an echoing like thud, and as quickly as they do, Ivan is standing, like literally kind of just blurs up in front of all of you, and is now standing in the middle of the hallway. Your bags will all be taken away, not permanently, of course. We're not here to rob you of anything. This is a spa, and we have vetted all our staff. They'll be put in your rooms, but for now, we have treatments. You are all desperately, and he looks over at you, desperately in need of some sort of healing, some relaxation, some good times.
Yes.
Indeed.
I just look at him and I'm putting chapstick on. Aggressively.
Well, miss, you seem to be quite, and more just tense.
Yeah.
Well, then, Ivan, if I may be so bold, and it's like, of course, Fraulein. Why not maybe just a quick session with Boris? You know, he works absolutely wonders, and the muscles in that man's hands, they can just work anything out. So a little bit of massage therapy, a little bit of time in our isolation coffin.
Sure.
Great. And she's like, why don't I escort you personally?
No, just tell me where to go.
Well, it's sort of spa.
Can someone else escort me, please?
And Morag just kind of smiles at you. Of course. And a passing staff member, small halfling fellow, kind of just looks up and he's like, "Oh God, not me." And he then kind of smiles at Morag and he smiles at you. Of course, I'll bring you Borsk, yeah. And he just kind of nods at you and nods at everybody else, and then nods at Morag and then nods at Ivan, and then starts walking down the corridor down to that passageway to the left.
I follow him, and all you just hear me saying is, "Oh, thank God. I can't stand her." That
just echoes around, and everyone's just looking at Morag. I don't know, and I don't mean to imply anything, but you're quite a interesting fellow. She looks at you, Nate. And something tells me you have a habit of getting in people's faces.
Yeah, what of it? And then I get in her face.
Well, and she just takes a kind of a step back. With that kind of bravado, maybe you could do with we're trying out this whole kind of fitness class. Well, it's self-defense mixed with fitness. It's our core power step up so they step back self-defense classes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can show you to the training room. It's actually kind of points.
Yeah. Actually, how about I show you and then I just start walking?
Well, no, you're going the wrong way.
I'm gone.
Okay. Ivan, I think that's all for the treatments. But there is afternoon tea, and Ivan just kind of like grits his teeth. Oh, yes, afternoon tea with Madame Anita Helika. Yeah. Perhaps you are musically inclined?
Yes.
Excellent. Then maybe you'll be able to show Madame Anita what music actually is. I kid. She's wonderful. She's She's a warbler.
Oh, I love a warbler, I think.
Don't we all? If you would kindly escort me, I'll escort you. I'm very confused. Your friend is very eager to go around the castle.
Mm.
He's fine. He's very energetic. Does he always kiss people?
That's my bestie you're talking about, so I'm going to have to ask you to respect his cultural norms.
No, please, no disrespect intended at all. It's just simply my nose. Is he always? Are his lips always that?
Oh, it's a condition.
I see.
That was a lie. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know him all that well, but he's a nice guy.
But he's your best friend.
He's my best friend.
Why don't I escort you to the ballroom? The former ballroom. That is now our afternoon tea room.
Sure. What's on the menu?
Sandwiches.
Wow. Just a
And medley.
a sandwich medley.
Yes.
Right.
It comes out in a little thing. It's very cute. It's got a little carousel.
Okay. I mean, look, it's on the house, right?
Oh, of course.
Actually, none of you haven't discussed payment at all.
I didn't have to. This is all free.
Hmm.
I mean, you saved Wormnook, and you did help with the air elementals that got out of the castle. That could have been a whole issue. No, I'm so glad that you are here.
Kale kind of glances around and he's like, where did they get out of, actually?
But the castle, they help, we've got a few of them trapped in, they help the whole machinations kind of work, and it's kind of problem with the dankness.
Oh, okay. I understand. So just kind of like ventilation and...
Well, yeah, that's what the air elementals are supposed to be doing, but they're quite hot-headed. It's very interesting. The whole machinations, I'm not really sure. Morag's idea.
Morag's idea?
Oh,
Okay.
well, yeah, she's a very modern woman.
Now, I've heard she tried to do a murder, but look, I'm not one to judge, and I don't think anyone else in this group are really ones to judge either, so...
Come. And he kind of just leads kind of like flouncily to that door behind you. It opens up and it's immediately along the right hand side. It's just window, and they're tall, magnificent, and they seem to catch all the light. And they open out onto a balcony that's just like encased in magnificently manicured shrubbery, and you just see kind of occasionally little marble statues kind of like lurking out of the bushes, that they're literally out of the bushes. But they're beautiful and they're tasteful and it's wonderful, it's art. And as the door opened, there was a Ivan is just like, yeah, so she's warbling. It's just a thing that she does. And his fingers are very much plunged into his ear holes.
Kyle's like fixing his hair, but kind of leaning his hand on his ear and just kind of plugging it a little bit in a way, kind of like, do you know when like you got a little water or something in there? He's kind of like,
Yeah, I find if you use both of your hands and you just press them right in, like to the point that it feels as if your skull might actually fracture, it helps block out the sound.
Well, someone is going to need to feed me these sandwiches then, because...
Well, if you wish to take... And there's just tables that are finely decorated, it is actually quite magnificent looking. It is like, it's like stepping into one of the bougiest cafes or restaurants in Galeshire. And it's actually quite tasteful as well. It's really like high class. And you're kind of led over to a table that has kind of 4 chairs set around it. There's wonderful bone china. Very simple in terms of its design, but you can tell very, very well made. It's the kind of stuff that it feels almost brittle in your hands. That's how expensive it is. But who gives a crap? Because if you break it, you're rich. Well, you're not, but the rich are. So at the far end, next to a harpsichord, you see a sort of an elderly woman trying to look middle-aged, fixing just this kind of giant mop of a wig kind of onto her head. Like she's half kind of bent down over it, and she's wearing a full sort of soft, dusty pink ball gown that's fixed with just dozens of ribbons. I'll be with you in a moment. I'll leave you to your afternoon tea. We will get the sandwiches.
He locks eyes with the count.
The count is just trying to fold.
He reaches out a hand as if like, don't go.
Where are you going to reach?
Towards the count, just like reaches out a hand, like tentatively, like no.
It's kind of like that, like cartoon type thing where it's just a kind of a dust cloud, but he literally blurs out the door. He's gone, and the door is shut. Like they slam behind him.
Okay. It's just some sandwiches. If you put the sandwiches in her mouth, she can't sing.
Fia. The halfling gentleman he's about 4 paces ahead of you, and he's walking kind of briskly. He actually Like he's literally like he's just full of gusto and full of beans and full of energy. As you pass down, this is where that smell of sandalwood and lavender seems to be underneath because it's quite potent down here. And there are several doors on this side. One of which, what's your passive perception?
It is 17.
A staff member comes out of a door and you just barely spied like rows of bookshelves. And immediately on your right, there's just a plume of smokesteam kind of wafting from under the doors. The halfling kind of clicks his heels together and nods at you.
All right. And I open the door and just barrel my way in.
As you kind of storm into the room, there is just give me a perception check, actually.
10.
Okay, yeah, Fia's probably a bit too innocent to even know what the smell is, but there is something grassier underlying in here. There's definitely lavender and sandalwood. You can't get that out, but there's a note of something. You're like, what is that? It smells like outside, but happy. And you just hear, and all around the room, again, there's definitely clouds of steam, but there's a plume of smoke as well. The room itself is, I mean, if this is the sauna or steam room or massage room, it looks to you more like the office that Quillo has in the house. It looks to be kind of more like a study than anything else. But there's a bed laying out in the middle of it, and it is actually a bed. It's not a massage bed. It's not a massage table. It's a bed. And there's just kind of a rattling coming from one end of it, and you just see all these room dividers that have been kind of like pulled across. And then just standing straight up, you see a Leonin, and his hair is just kind of pulled back, like his mane and hair are all kind of pulled back in like just kind of like long braids. He's actually quite handsome. He's got a beard. He's got like blue eyes.
Oh, stop.
He's gorgeous. He has a scar over his right eye.
What do you want from us?
Yeah.
Just be horny at the table.
Can do.
So, you here for these? And he just wiggles his paws at you.
I guess so.
Great. Well, why don't you throw yourself delicately, because we're fragile beings, on the bed?
I roll my eyes and just flump down onto it.
Great. I'm Borisk, and I'm going to be your massage therapist / personal sage.
Sure, dude.
Okay. So what can I do for you today?
Well, I got cursed by a dress, and I'm really tense as fuck, and I hate everything.
Okay, that might explain the tude that I'm vibing or not vibing. Are we vibing?
I just want to get this shit sorted out.
Right. I'm just going to tell you that kind of language is not good for your energy or my energy.
What the fuck, really?
Yeah. Do you smoke?
No.
I'm asking for it's a survey. We ask, health
Right.
things.
I don't smoke. I'm not a big drinker, so yeah.
He kicks a little box away. So, tell me about this curse.
Yeah, so this woman we met in this town gave me a dress that was really freaking sheer, so I said I'd take it off, and apparently taking it off, it just, made me, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. Everyone else says there's something fucking wrong with me, but I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I'm just speaking my mind now. I'm not being the sweet little innocent Fia anymore. Like, fuck that shit.
Okay. And Boris steps around the divider, and he is wearing like a full-on white uniform, and like he's kind of got just a splash of like kind of a gold shawl wrapped like around his right hand shoulder across him. Okay, so I think that what I can do for you is I can just like rework a little bit of this. I've done a little bit of curse work, not my forte. But why don't I just get stuck in there and just see really what the deal is?
Yeah, okay.
He just starts like eyeing up his little pads and his little claws. So I'm thinking maybe a little eucalyptus to start. I'm just going to do that anyway, okay? There's no need to really converse. I'm just making conversation. You know, it's the polite thing to do. And immediately he just presses like his two line thumbs. Do Leonin have hands?
To give him a sign. He's gonna need the bread.
He's
making biscuits.
He's making biscuits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's just, you just, like, I mean, his thumbs, as they press at your back, you feel most of your lower back just covered. And he just presses straight down. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit. 6.
You said you were cursed like recently?
Yeah, like a day ago, I guess.
Okay. It's just there's something else kind of here I'm kind of just not digging. I mean, I'm digging, but I can't really get through.
All right. Wait, I mean, what do you want me to say?
I don't know, man. And he just kind of, is the pressure okay?
I mean, you can go a bit harder if you want.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
11.
He presses. It is that like, yeah. As he gets a knot. Oh yeah. No, we're starting. Yeah, I'm starting to get this. You said it was a dress. You said it was a thing you put on and then you just tuck off. Yeah. There's definitely some residual bad juju here that I'm just feeling.
All right, what do we need to do to get rid of it?
I got this.
Cool.
You trust?
Sure.
Great. And you kind of just hear his, like, he cracks all the knuckles in his paws.
That's so attractive.
And then he presses down with the heels of his hands right into your shoulder blades, and he just rolls it right back. As he does this, there's a lot of pressure there, and he just kind of, you feel it. Then there's a striking pain right into your lower back as you feel it. It feels cold as he rolls it straight down, but as it gets into your kind of lower back, it's when fire and ice kind of meet each other, sort of a thing. And the mark on your back, you just feel it. It just burns. And the coldness that collides with it, there's a stinging sensation. He's like, okay, new plan. I think I'm just gonna, and he goes straight down into your shoulder blades with his elbow, and he's like, I'm just gonna put a lot, like a lot of pressure onto this one. Give me a Constitution saving throw. You need higher than a 13, and if you get higher than 13.
18.
Okay, you now make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
16.
Again, you feel that wave of cold as it just kind of passes through you, and then it hits your back, and this time the cold is just completely burnt away. The residual kind of curse energy from the dress is just engulfed by Hedana's mark. And you immediately feel every muscle in your body just go. And as you kind of lose yourself in that moment, you just feel his little line hands like now massaging the sides of your head and down at like just behind your ears a little bit as well.
I didn't think this would get any better, but it does.
Yeah. How do we feel? You want to smoke?
No, I'm good, dude.
Again, that was a test. I mean, you said no the first time, and I was just making sure that you weren't lying. Great.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is great. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm feeling that your energy is a little bit more open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you feeling good?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just plunge you into total isolation and darkness.
Oh.
Trust. Okay, trust Borisk. Okay, this is going to be good for you. Like, a lot of that tension now that you were just carrying is gone.
Okay.
Now's the best time. Now when you're most vulnerable, best time to just explore past trauma.
Are you sure?
Sure. I've almost got my license, and there's nothing so far in the textbook about doing this. Or not doing it, rather. So we've got these little isolation booths. We're going to put you in it, and just whatever comes to you, and you just work through that. And really, if you want the full benefits of these, and he kind of wiggles his fingers again, you got to follow through with this. You just gotta follow through. We're onto something here, Fia. I can feel it in you. There's a change.
Okay.
There's a change.
Yeah.
It's coming. You vibing?
I'm vibing, yeah.
You want to go in the coffin? I mean, isolation box?
Okay.
Okay, so we surround or entomb the isolation box with just some ice, and it just really helps bring down a lot of these panics that can happen when you're in there, but it's fine. Just knock on the wood a couple of times, and I'm definitely going to hear you this time.
This time what?
You haven't done this before, so it's fine.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful, great. I'll get the isolation box ready, and you just lie there and think about how amazing you are.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Sure.
We got a good vibe going now, Fia, you and I.
Yeah.
Nate, Count's follow leads you down to the back of the corridor, past the staircase, past the corridor that you saw Fia disappear down with the halfling, and towards a room at the very, very end. And inside of it, you can just hear the rhythmic pounding of drums. Yeah, so you... Werk up is vet. Is...
Just pounding my chest.
Yeah. I'm feeling it. Yeah. Swallow is just out of time with you. He's just like, yeah. Very good. You go inside and you take off your clothes. You get dressed. You get ready, and you exercise. It's good for your body and your mind and the muscles in your body and your mind. And he kind of bows at you.
Namaste.
I don't know who that is, but sure. I'm sure I can find them for you. And he opens the door, and the drumming gets louder. And inside you just see a small quartet of 2 dwarfs, an elf, and a halfling, all again in staff uniforms, but they're like leisure activity uniforms. So they're sleeveless and they're wearing shorts. Standing in the middle of the room, which is just lined on one side with mirrors, you see a really tall, lithe looking wood elf. Just a mop of brown curls that have been undercut on the left-hand side, and they just tossle down over the right-hand side of their face. As you enter, they're just doing kind of a stretch. They're just doing a full-on, like their right leg is extended out, and they're just doing proper groin stretches, because you have to do stretches before you exercise. That's important.
Okay, I just start taking my shirt off.
Okay.
Swallow said I had to get undressed, so...
Yes, but not here. You can just go, if you go right past the music table.
My pants are coming off now.
No, please. And he's now closing his eyes, and he's just right past the music table, and he's trying to point because his eyes are still closed. Right just past there's a changing room. You can go in. There are some spare clothes that they're a little bit more loose. You would just throw those on. Don't come out here naked, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'm holding my clothes. I'm
Okay.
not naked.
Okay, I know I can appreciate that, and I'm sure you've got a fine form, but this happens way too often. Please remove yourself to the changing room and put those other clothes on.
Okay, but don't look.
I'm not looking. My eyes are still very much closed.
And then just before I go through the door, I look back just to see if he's looking.
His eyes are still closed.
I'm disappointed. I go in.
It looks like someone took a walk-in closet and made it a locker room. And there's just loose fitting pants and like shirts just kind of strung up on hangers around the place.
I'll grab what's like maybe a bit too small for me, a little bit more form-fitting.
Okay.
But it's still going to give me like room to move.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want something that shows off,
Yeah.
but also doesn't restrict.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
When fashion works that out, I'll let you know.
I'm gonna tear the t-shirt into like a belly top. and then I want to just like tear the sort of like band around the neck of the thing and sort of like split it down the middle so there's a bit of chest showing as well.
Okay.
And no sleeves.
You tear the sleeves off the t-shirt.
So sleeves off, midriff off, and sort of exposed chest.
Okay.
Makes it a V-neck.
Yeah, Nate, you come back out a moment later, and you see that the wood elf is standing up, and he's holding two wooden sticks. Like he's holding, they look kind of like swords. They've got the little handle on them and stuff like that. Okay. Did you?
I get hot.
His eyes linger for a second, just a little, like. Fair enough. I am Mikael Hawthorne the Fourth. You are
Nathaniel Obsidian McKnight.
Oh. I saw you play in Tezrab.
Oh. And?
I saw you. And it was a show. That was good. Should we get down to the exercise?
Yeah, let's get down to the exercise, yeah.
Are you much of a sword fighter, Mr. McKnight?
Well.
If only you knew.
What? Oh, that's why I asked you, so then I would know. And he just hands you the stick.
I take the stick.
Okay. Show me your form.
Okay, I take the stick in both hands. I take a little step back, sort of bending my knees slightly. And I say, come at me.
Well,
And then I attack him.
Okay.
Hesitation is fatal, Mikhail.
Give me an attack with your rapier as if it was... oh, god damn it.
19.
Okay. As you bend your knees and strike at the same time, he barely had a chance to bring his up. You catch his fingers. Okay. Well, it's great that you have the same enthusiasm for music as you do sword fighting. I was really just looking to see your stance. Is this atypical for you? Would you say that you would do something like this?
I have multiple forms that I use for any given situation.
Oh, okay.
I got to tailor yourself to the person that you're against.
That we can agree with, certainly. Okay, maybe we've just gone like a step or two ahead. Why don't you just? And he takes 2 large steps back. Why don't you just show me your go-to? Heat of the moment. Just attack the air this time.
Okay. So I grab the stick and I sort of hold it one-handed as I would the rapier, and sort of one hand back beside me. So I'm turning sort of side on, sort of make myself a smaller target.
Okay.
So and then I'm sort of ready like that, sort of hand sort of held above my head like this.
Okay.
I say like this as if people can see it, but yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Great. Theater of the mind.
Okay, that's quite fine.
And then I attack.
Okay, give me an attack roll. Oh boy.
Really playing D&D today.
Apparently one of us is.
You said there's going to be minimal combat. I had no
Unnatural
idea.
20.
Oh god damn it. He was kind of half prepared this time, but you still managed to wrap him on the knuckles. You can see that he's now swaps the sword into the other hand, and you can definitely see that his knuckles are bruised. I see we tend to favor surprise as our element. Very good, then. Why don't I show you a couple of different maybe moves that might work best for a sword fighter like yourself?
Let's do it.
Okay. And he takes a step back and just puts his one arm kind of behind his back, the bruised arm. Like it's very, very fucking sore. He gestures with his sword towards you and he kind of wags his like once or twice just to kind of, you should tap your sword against it.
Very sort of carefully and lightly and daintily, I tap my tip against his. And then I sort of
Yeah.
rub the length of his sword with my own.
Declan, what did you expect? Come on.
And then I whip his sword out. And then I clapper it really hard. And then I go in and attack again, but this time it's with a kiss on the nose.
Okay. Wow. Give me a dex check.
Saving throw or just straight up like?
Just a straight up dex check.
Okay. Dex check. Dex check. 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you smack it out of the way and immediately lunge in, and he's blindsided for the third time as you boop him on the nose with a little kiss, and his face goes red. Okay. Why don't we maybe just talk about sword fighting for a little while, and maybe I can give you a brief history lesson.
Okay then.
Okay.
This man's about to quit his job.
Yeah.
He puts
And run away with Nate.
he kind of goes into to crouch down. He puts the sword down on the ground,
No.
looking at you in the eye, kind of like, and the sword in your hand.
I place the sword down in front of me, within arm's reach.
Okay. And then he bops you on the. I actually did roll to do it. So could you please roll a dex saving?
Or is it just against my AC? Is it? Or
No, because we're not really like
just
this is just like recreational sword fighting. Yeah.
regular dex? Okay, that's a 17. I grab the stick.
You grab the stick, but immediately his eyes just lock on yours as your eye holding it.
Ooh.
So I first learned to sword fight when I was 4, and he just goes into a lecture about sword fighting. Hephaesta, you're led downstairs into a rather dank cellar. The entire time you hear kind of Groff and the two soldiers, their armor just kind of clinking and the sound echoing as it goes down. There's a groaning of a door as the serpent steps in, and they just kind of look back and, well, this is the cellar. I think this is what the Count suggested you use.
No, I think he suggested you let me go.
Very nice try, Hephaesta. No. And Groff just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and shoves you in. The door locks. Why don't the two of you escort the staff member back up? And I will just have a little word with Miss Tinderson. Privately. In private. The soldiers like kind of, you just hear kind of affirmation, yeah. And the staff member, just be careful, the steps there are just a little bit slippery. The dankness, we're getting it dealt with, but it's there. And my other half is actually out on commission. He fell and broke his leg last minute. And then they're just being escorted away. Well.
Drop the act, you bitch.
I mean, I could, but it's just the effort it has to go through to Ugh. No, I'll keep the guys up for a little while longer. I think it takes a lot out of me, you see. But it's kind of nice to reconnect, isn't it? A little bit. No?
No.
Are you mad
Yeah.
at the whole Eve?
After you putting me in the fucking cellar for something I didn't do thing? Yeah, kind of pissed.
Well, I had to get you alone somehow, Heffy.
Ugh.
You're really mad.
Yes! You framed me for murder!
Oh, that's just a little thing. I'm this guy now. I can, like, click my fingers and we can have Fia thrown in jail instead. Maybe.
No, I don't want that either. I want you to let me and my friends go instead of being stuck in this fucking murder house.
It's a castle.
I hate you.
No, you don't. You say that all the time, but no, you don't.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm great. life's great. You, me, alone, nothing but a door separating us, and I've got the key.
Let me out of here.
I can't. I'm not allowed.
You have the key.
I do. I do have the key.
So open the fucking door.
No. No, I fucking won't open the door.
They're gonna notice that you're not Groff.
Excuse me. Nathaniel's going to notice anything but himself.
Okay, the other two.
In case you can't tell, Fia's being a bit of a bitch.
Yeah, more reason for her to take it out on someone else.
Yeah, so she's just gonna take it out on Nate. Or that... You're not going out with that other floozy.
It's none of your business.
Oh, Hephaesta. I didn't think you'd get any lower than Nate, but how old is that guy? What, he's gotta be like 30.
I don't know.
Oh, Heffy.
What are you going to do to me? What's the plan
no,
here? What's the grand master plan?
Oh, I can't really tell you. I'm not allowed.
By who? Who's not allowing you to... Since when does anyone allow you to do anything?
Oh, my boss.
You work for somebody?
Kind of. I freelance now. I'm a freelancer. I'm a get up and go get 'em.
Oh, isn't that good for you?
It is.
Fuck off.
Oh, I am catching a little bit of hostility from you. What's that about?
What's that door made of?
Oh,
I'm in shackles.
I went to all this trouble. I had, a separate from the other party. And look, we've got a little castle going. And I don't know. I could just kill the others.
Don't you fucking dare.
Why not? What are you going to do about it?
I will get out of here and I will skin you alive.
Oh, I'll get out of here. I'll get out of here. How?
I just bang on the door again.
Oh, there it is again. There's that hostility.
What do you want from me? What is the point of this?
The point is, my boss has a bit of a vested interest in you, and I'm just doing what I'm told.
Why is anybody interested in me? What? Nobody's
That's
getting
what
anything
I
out
said.
of me.
I'm joking. Oh, Heffy. Things could have been really different. I mean, I tried. That guy in your bed. I tried a whole other approach to this. But no, you had to go and get rid of the body and the evidence.
Yeah? What? Did you think you're just gonna let somebody find that?
Well, yeah. That would... look at all the things I had to go through.
You had to go through?
Yeah. I had to kill this Groff guy. I had to, impersonate him. I had to learn all about his mannerisms and stuff.
You're not doing very good, by the way.
Says you. Everyone thinks you killed Eve. Let's face it. The old bitch was kind of shuffling off the mortal coil anyway. I just stabbed her a couple of times over the edge.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm perfect.
Eve took you in.
Eve took you in. Eve took you in.
I know.
And now she's dead. Does Fia have a mom? Because Nate's mom's dead and your surrogate drag mother's dead and your grandfather date doesn't have a mom. She's definitely dead, so...
I swear to God, if you fucking touch her.
What? What are you going to do? Bang on the door with your shackles a bit more?
I will get out of here.
Sure you will. I know you will. Bye, Heffy. I'm going upstairs. Who knows what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some meddling. Oh, it's going to be fun. Don't let the rats bite.
I just bang on the door and scream.
Oh, it's so dank in here. Oh, it's so dank in here. Oh, it's so... yeah, that's it. And Dahlia, as Groff heads back up the stairs. as all of this is happening, we cut back to Kyle, who is in the ballroom / afternoon tea room. Elderly human woman has been with a tray, carrying a carousel of sandwiches, scones, pastries, and a rather large jug of piping hot tea. There's just kind of a calmness in the room. And then you start to see the glass on the windows shake. And the jug starts to vibrate, and the cutlery, the delf, the fine bone china, all of it starts to rattle. And then your ear starts to hurt. And a pitch suddenly just erupts, and several of the window frames crack. And then you just hear, oh. And stepping around the harpsichord is this middle-aged, red-grey-haired woman in a frumpy, dusty pink ball gown, just littered in ribbons. Her wig was slightly set up in a high kind of bouffant hair, or like a little beehive type thing, is slightly askewed, and she just kind of like, I humbly beg your pardon. I seemed to have lost my talent. I'm kidding. Oh, I do that at the start of all my shows. Oh, I saw that little panicked look on your face.
I was worried.
Oh, I knew you were. I knew it.
Madam, are you going to join me for some food?
Oh, I can't. Sandwiches, you see, clog up my song muscles.
Well, some tea to relax the vocal cords,
the only
or
lubrication I need is the saliva that guzzles down my neck.
Ugh.
Now, shall I begin?
Genuine question? Rhetorical question.
I'm not going to treat all of you to my wonderful singing voice. You can imagine it. It sounds exactly like this voice, but 10 times better. And she proceeds to sing a song about a horny fishwife. She swans around the ballroom the entire time singing it, banging into tables, into like a grandfather clock. She brushes against some of the curtains, trying to be seductive as she sings it to her. And just you, because there's nobody else in the room. Like literally, there isn't a servant, there isn't a staff member, there's nobody. It's just you and her in the room.
He's trying to mask his, like, the actual physical pain by, like, trying to shape a grimace into a sort of a pensive, like, kind of a deep, like, considering what's happening kind of thing, instead of being just outright, like, horrified.
The end.
Oh.
Of the first verse. I knew I'm joking. They can't afford my rates. I'm very expensive.
I would imagine with a set of pipes like that.
They called me the ivory tonsiled tinkler of the harpsichord.
Wow. And I mean, do they have to replace the windows every time?
Most places
Wow.
take the windows out after they've booked me. They know my reputation precedes me.
Well, look, I can safely say I've never seen the like in all my years as this performance.
Death.
Sorry? Sorry?
Death.
Is this...
You've seen it.
It
follows you.
Oh.
And she... I say glides in the same way that a herd of cattle glide. Haven't you? You've seen it. All of it.
Shh.
And she just places a hand on her head.
Kyle relishes the silence.
There's somebody here.
Uh-huh.
In this room.
He looks around.
Other than the two of us. In a metaphysical sense.
Oh.
There's somebody else here.
Uh-huh.
And they have messages.
Oh.
Some are for you.
Oh.
Some... I'm getting... You're getting up, you little bastard. Hey, you. And her head goes right back and her mouth starts to move. We ain't got a lot of time here, okay? This talking puppet thing is useless. I've been trying to get through to her for 8... Oh, God, my ears are ringing. Oh, gosh, the reception in here is terrible. Am I coming through?
Yes?
Okay. Kylie, you gotta pass on a couple of messages for me, okay?
Sure. Yeah. Who?
That's not how this works. Kylie, I have an opportunity right now to pass on information. But apparently, the rules of being dead are you can only ask me 3 questions and then blip. Make it quick.
What have you got to tell me? Is that like that's like a good?
That's one question. Good.
Come on, that's a good catch-all.
Yeah, because that's the way death rolls, baby.
Oh, I have no context for this conversation. Okay, good. Are we all in danger here? In this place? Right, okay. Oh, that Morag lady, is she still a threat? Right, okay, that's 3. Goodbye. Thanks. Lovely chat.
Where were we?
You were just telling me how...
Verse 2.
No.
The seed filled her loins. This was Romancing the Dungeon. You've been listening to Amber as Hephaesta, Sam as Nate, Louise as Fia, James as Kyle. Our theme song, Haunted, is by Ghost of Red Mountain. Title card and artwork by Ralph is Redacted. I'm Declan, and I've been your Dungeon Master. If you like what you heard and want to know more about the show and the world of Romancing the Dungeon, check us out on social media. You'll be talking to Eilish mostly at D8 Dungeon, because I'm forbidden from going near it anymore. There's plenty of behind-the-scenes shenanigans, giveaways, and a growing community of daters. If you'd like to get your hands on some sweet, super sweet extra bits and pieces, maps, artwork, access to private channels over our Discord, shoutouts, even deleted scenes and outtakes, the stuff that we're just not allowed to say. We also have a Patreon, and you get all that wonderful stuff there. Absolutely zero pressure. The show is free to listen across all major, wherever you're listening to it right now. I don't know. Wherever you're listening to it right now. We are also on Twitch. Just a quick shout out to the Rise of the Forsaken Gang, our Twitch show, and actually at this point, Saving Grace will have started too. The podcast is back in 2 weeks, so we will see you then.
Oh my god. Good. Someone's already at the table.